Hey guys, how are you? So have you already ever heard the expression, there's a lot of ways to do something or more than one way to do something? So we're going to still do a 0-degree haircut today, but I'm going to create the basis of what's going to end up being our stacked bob. If you notice, her haircut gets longer in front. My sectioning is going to be really different today. It's based on a theory that Chris Barron taught called a 6-panel bob, and we are going to section the hair in this way. We'll stay in front of each of the bevels. There's 8 bevels on the head, or 8 panels. So we're going to section our doll that way, and we're going to change finger angles about on this back bevel. If you will notice on the head form, part of this is about those 4 corners. And this is where the head shape makes different turns. And we're going to be very aware of where the turns happen on the head. That's one reason I like to teach this haircut, because we really know where we are on the head. And then once we start the elevation, this is going to be so much easier. So notice the back. Do not look at the elevation because we are not cutting elevation today. But notice horizontals basically, and they turn into diagonal forwards. So here's what we're going to do, gang. We are going to section our head with the profile section. We are also going to part our head with a radial section. Then we're going to turn around and find the back 2 corners. So we will section the head in the back. Basically, those panels will be sectioned in half. And basically, the way we can find that on the head, there's be a point in your life you will just automatically go to. But remember how we found the parietal? We put our combs or our fingers on the sides. So if I put my fingers here, flat on the back, flat on the ears, bend, and there I am right on that 4th wall. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. I've got a wet doll here. I have shampooed and I've conditioned my customer before I have done this. I'm doing a center part because my customer combs her hair both ways. If my customer only parted to the side, that's the way I would be doing her hair. So I am going to section. I've already got the profile, and I'm going to go here and back. I guess I should turn around and do this so you can see this. There we go. There she is, center back. And I have my finger behind her ear, and there's my comb. We'll do that again. That wasn't perfect. We're going to find the apex of the head. I want to put my fingernail right on the edge of her ear for the doll. And I'm going to come straight down. There we go. That sections the doll front to side. This also keeps the hair that's in the back of the head in back of the head. All the hair in front of the head in front of the head. So again, this is a radial parting, ear to ear. We did a profile part to start out with. Bam, ba, bam, ba, bam. And if you'll notice, my finger is behind her ear right there. I'm headed for right there. The more you do this, guys, the faster you get. And the better you get at it. So you always say, oh, you make it look so simple. But believe me, it was not. I ran the struggle bus a whole lot. So I've now got the back 2 in half. So I'm going to go in and I am going to part my hair where that 4th corner is. So there's that back corner. And I'm going to clip that way out of the way. There is this piece, and see I'm in the back corner, and I'm going to go right in the middle of that section. If you were to look at this mannequin at the top, it's going to look like kind of like a circus tent. Is what it kind of looks like. And I'm going to take this section out of the way. There we go. This is panel 1 for my right-handed students. For my left-handed students, that will be your panel 1. Okay? So what I'm going to do in panel 1 is I am going to take a horizontal parting, a horizontal finger angle. See if you can see that. There we go. And go up the head. Okay, I am not going to do this where she's leaned over. I'm going to do this basically with a finger, only one finger next to her neck. Okay, this still does not give me any elevation. It's still straight down because of the curvature of the head. Okay, so here is my horizontal parting. Oop. Get that out of the way. Notice I placed my comb over here. I did not lay it down. I'm about a finger's distance above the collar. Remember, we're going to turn this doll into our 45-degree bob. We do not want to elevate this section. It is coming straight down. We do not want to pull the section side to side either. Okay, so straight down. My fingers are parallel. I'm going to go in and cut. There we go. I'm going to take another subsection and let it down. I'm taking extremely large partings for just the sake of time. Maybe not the best idea, but I can still see my guide underneath. There he is. Okay. What we do a lot of times as beginning cutters is we get a little nervous, we see our guide, we slip past it, and each hair progressively gets longer. So when you see your guide, stop, and then cut right at the guide. The other problem can be cutting into the guide each time. Probably don't want to do that either, or one side's going to end up shorter. Here's a little trick I've learned a long time ago. I'm going to take out my original section. I am now going to go to panel 2, which will be this one right here. My finger angle again is going to be horizontal. I'm going to let down the same amount of hair. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of hair from this side, piece of hair from this side, bring it to dead center at 0, cut it, and now I have a guide here, a here, and right there. So now I could almost get rid of my original section. I'm going to leave a little bit of it so I can see my guide. Straight down. You can see your guide there, connect A to B. And then double check that they're the same length. Okay? I'll take another section. Since my doll's a little stringy, don't do this at home. I can see my guide through there, and I'm going to cut this. Okay? Here's where I'm going to go diagonal forward in panel 3. I'm going to go diagonal forward, diagonal forward, diagonal forward, diagonal forward, all the way up. What's my guide? Well, my length guide is the hair right here. So, here we go. I'm going to do a diagonal forward parting. There we go. Holding that up. You see that okay? Now, if my parting was horizontal, my fingers would be this way. My fingers are going to now tilt diagonally forward. And when we say diagonally forward, that means towards the face. Notice I am right in front of this section now. I'm not in the back section. Downward, forward. You will notice you will keep on going further forward because there's hair over this ear. Can you see your guide? I can. It is right there. I can see it right there. And I'm cutting. Notice my wrist is not torqued around. I'm trying to take a lot of strain off of that. I'm trying just to move my bottom blade instead of being a clacker like I usually am. Combing all that hair together and diagonal forward, recomb, and there we go. Have you noticed I did not set my shears down once? I'm going to part out my original section here because I want this little teensy beensy corner here because that's going to be my guide on panel 4 because it is also going to be diagonal forward. Get that out of the way. Do I actually cut this haircut on a customer? Yes, I do. I do have a customer that I cut this exact haircut on her. We have no elevation in her haircut. Diagonal forward again. I'm wanting to catch that original bottom piece right here because I'm going to mirror it from the other side. Can you see how that's diagonally forward? I hope the camera angle's working. I'm still learning this, you know. It's like you're learning hair cutting. I'm learning how to do this. Hey. Again, taking a piece from right here, we want to grab the same section, bring it back, bring it down at 0, and cut that. Guess what? Now I have my angle on my corner. That way I don't play the teeter-totter game. Oh, look at there. There we go. And now I'm cutting uphill. There we go. Recomb, because I do not want to cut into the fleshy bit of my hand. There we go. Last piece. Diagonal forward is my finger angle. Let's let the back down and see what we think. Yes. Ooh, yes ma'am. It's the same. So for my left-handers, you would head to this side naturally. For our right-handers, we are going to head on over here. And is our finger angle again going to be diagonally forward? Yes, ma'am, it certainly is. And sirs. Just don't want to let you guys out. Hey. Again, watching the ear. I want to do that by not putting a lot of tension on this side. I can tap. I can actually have her pivot forward just a little bit. If I elevate with her pitched forward, I'm still at 0 and I'm not bending her ear. There we go. And downhill. And I broke my own rule because I cut past here. I'm going to comb this hair down and around. Remember, I am cutting part of the bang bevel, but we're not putting bangs on her. So I might even put a pin there to hold that just gently in place, not putting a lot of tension. Again, baby hairs. Remember, you can always cut more off once you do the blow dry. And again, on the side, on this other side, diagonal forward. You take as big a piece as you're comfortable with. This is the part, if you're in the salon and there's a mirror over there, you've got your guest turned, you can look at your finger angle on this side in the mirror. So you've got that set up for you as well. I'm just going to continue my diagonal line. Diagonal forward, and kind of gently sweep the hair back without the clip, even if you wanted to. It's wet. There we go, and uphill. I want to check and see if I have even Steven. So what I'm going to do in the bang area is take my bangs out, and here we go. There we go, even, V. So it's an A in the back, basically, and a V in the front. That ensures your haircut got longer versus having face framing. So now is our foundation for the 45-degree haircut. You've done a 6-panel bob as well. So this one's a little bit longer haircut than the one we did just before. So not everybody is super shorty. Could I do this same thing and make a lob? Absolutely. This could be on her shoulder. So basically I would have one finger in between her shoulder and the top hair, and that would still be 0 degrees. So don't be scared to do longer versions too. Not everything has to be a short version. I just did these shorter where you can really see them a little bit better. So you choose the proportions and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to blow her, dry her real quick, and all that. I'll probably wrap dry her and then round brush her a little bit, and then I'll show you the final outcome, and then I will let you go. So guys, here's our final haircut. Definitely see an A-line bob. It's getting longer in front. I gave her a side part. Why did I cut in this order? Because if I do this and I make an error, I can fix it easier than if I do a whole side of the head. That's why I was going back and forth to create balance in the haircut. I'm a big dry cutter as well after I all said and done. And I see a lot of frizzy little pieces around here. So I'm going to have my customer lean forward. I'm going to go in and I will, if I get my shears, go in and clean up that haircut. At the zero, it's still 0 degree. I can put my comb in here to hold everybody in still in place. I could take my edger and create a clean line if I want to. There we go. So I always want to clean up my perimeter. Once she puts her head back up, you never see it. But should she put her head down, there's a little diagonal line I need to clip off right there. There we go. All cleaned up. Hey, I want to thank Chris Barron for teaching me this haircut a long time ago. It's really informational. Here's one of his handouts. His name is Chris, B-A-R-A-N, and his company is called Fuel for Education. So he's a principle-based cutter and stylist, and he's amazing to watch. He's extremely technical. He has forgotten more than I'll probably ever learn. So he's